Hi guys, welcome to this long-awaited Pink Floyd album retrospective video. Before I get into the content of this video, I will say that I did pick up some things recently, and I'm not going to show them, make a rush to make a video of recent pickups. I'm just going to wait for 2 weeks until I get most of my birthday presents and make a recent pickups video then, and then make a short pickups video after that. Uh, So yeah, looking forward to showing those items, and I'm sure you guys will really be excited to see them. I know I was excited to see these things at the store. But anyways, Pink Floyd are an English rock band who earned recognition for their psychedelic music in the late 60s. The band's innovative album art, philosophical lyrics, and elaborate live shows got them a strong fan base. Pink Floyd formed in 1965, released some singles, and then Pipers of the Gates at Dawn, which is an excellent psychedelic album that I would recommend to any Floyd album. You can get it on vinyl record, 8-track, cassette, and CD. You can get on. I think there's like three actual CD reissues. One in 1987, one in 1990, one in 2004, 2006. That's the most recent one, and it sounds the best. You get two CDs, the stereo and mono editions of the album remastered. The mono album version of the album actually has pieces of tracks that are missing on the stereo version. So really, the only complete way to hear the first Pink Floyd album is listen to it in mono. So yeah, this album, I don't know, it's highly psychedelic. It's a wonderful album. There's songs like um, Flaming. There's uh, Interstellar Overdrive. Just all around good album. 1968, we saw the band release Saucer Full of Secrets. This album has more playful lyrics. There's songs like what is it, like Seesaw. Um, I got this album on vinyl records, translucent, uh, red Japanese vinyl record, came from Japan, and it sounds brilliant. You can get this album on in many different formats. I'm not going to keep going through the formats. Very great cover there. If you look at that cover, you cannot mistake it for any other album, unless you're just not a huge fan of this album. But yeah, highly psychedelic album once again. By this time, Syd Barrett was starting to show some signs of uh, withdrawal from people and erratic behavior during live shows. I haven't heard the CD of that. Actually, no, I do have it. What am I saying? 1969, we saw the band release the More soundtrack. This is a soundtrack for a movie which I have not seen. I've seen clips of it, and I didn't really like the clips that I saw on YouTube for the theatrical uh, commercial for the movie. But this album has more acoustic numbers on it. There are some rock and roll numbers on here. Narrow the Way or something like that. And then there's Cymbeline. That's a great track on this album. With this album cover, you don't see the band's name, which is interesting. You can get this album in many different formats. I would recommend getting the CD or vinyl record. I have not heard of the vinyl record, like a real copy, but I have heard an MP3 version, and it sounds fine. The CD version sounds pretty good too, but I don't know. It's probably best heard on vinyl record, as all the Floyd albums are best heard. Umagamma, also released in 1969. This album was, by this time, the band was making separate compositions and music on their own, and then putting them on the record. Of course, some of the drumming had to be done by, Nick, and it seemed like the band was just wanting to branch out and try new things, and it worked really well on this album. It really complements the album. Great, interesting cover there. You can also get this on CD. I have it on CD, and 1994 issue comes with a poster, which I haven't even put up. I don't plan on putting it up either. But yeah, great album though. It's very experimental in sound. Let's see. There's I can't remember. Like there's a song called Meadows or something. Uh, Meadows of Manchester or something like that. It's one of the best Pink Floyd songs on this album. The rest are very experimental and noisy, but they have their place on the album. They're very good. 1970, we saw the band release Adam Heart Mother, which is a very underrated Floyd album. The band actually didn't like the album, and fans disagreed, and the album just shot up the charts when it was released. But during this time, the band's equipment was stolen in New Orleans. I think it was like they had it in a room, waiting room or something like that, at a show before the show started or after the show. But it was $40,000 worth of equipment. Great album though. This is, I think Pink Floyd decided to go back to paying homage to Syd Barrett when they made this album. It's very psychedelic. They have some really great tracks on here. What's it called? Something Sun. I forget. I haven't listened to Floyd albums in a while, but interesting cow there. That's the album cover. 1971, we saw the band release Metal, which is has a unique album cover. I think that's actually an island of some sort. The cover was altered for the 1986 CD release, and you'll see a photo of the altered cover at the end of this section here. But Metal was mostly an acoustic album, and it's very soft compared to other Floyd albums. And then you have Echoes, which is a very long psychedelic song at the end of the record or CD. Great buy in my opinion if you want to get into Floyd. I have this on record, and I was lucky to get it. It came to me in very great shape. It's the Harvest label. The Harvest label CDs of all Floyd albums that you can get your hands on are probably the best sounding versions of these albums. The 1994 and 2001 CD remasters, they sound okay. They don't sound bad, but yeah, there's the altered cover right there. It doesn't matter to me. But here's Obscured by Clouds. These are, I think Floyd went, there's some acoustic numbers, there's a lot of psychedelic stuff. This was pre-Dark Side of the Moon, so one of the songs actually sounds a lot like one of the Dark Side of the Moon songs. I think it was something about bridges or something. I don't remember, but great, interesting cover there. I don't know what that is, some kind of light going through water or dust or something. I don't know. This was released in 1972, though. I can't say much more about it, really. You can get it on vinyl record or CD, cassette or 8-track cartridge. Once again, let's see. Great album though. If you're just getting into Floyd, though, I wouldn't get this album. This is one of those albums you're gonna have to get once you get heavy into the band. But 1973, we saw the band release Dark Side of the Moon. This is their most well-known album, and their first song, Speak to Me, and Breathe, are my favorite songs on the album. Of course, Money's great, and Us and Them is awesome. But this is all around one of the best space rock albums, and that's what got this band the space rock lumped into that category of bands. Excellent cover there. You can look at this cover and never ever mistake it for anyone else. I've seen many people review it and talk about it on their channels, and it's just a brilliant album. I have it on vinyl record, a Japanese release, and the 1992 CD reissue, which is the best CD version to get. The 2003 remaster, they went in and remixed the album and put in elements, of the original studio sound that the album had back then. And they updated the guitar sound, so you're getting like 1973 drum sound and guitar sound. It's not that great of a remaster, but 1977 we saw the band release Animals, and this was a controversial album. Waters is very angry in this album, you can tell. And while the band was on tour, Waters spat in the face of a fan that got too close to them. The story goes there was a net that went around the stage, and the guy jumped up. The audience member jumped up on it and was just acting crazy in front of Waters, just kind of acting like a gorilla or animal or something. And Waters spat on him. No pun intended on the animals thing. But this album there's some great songs on here. There's some psychedelic and acoustic numbers. If you do get the 8-track cartridge of this album, you can have the both versions of Pigs on a Wing abridged, and there's that. You can find the MP3 version of that Pigs on a Wing abridged online. There's some more interesting photos from this time. There's several photos you can find and promotional videos made around the time of the release of this album during the album cover making as well. And Pink Floyd put out some very good live shows at this time in 1977. and 1975. Oh man. Well, I just realized I made a big screw up. Actually, put in Animals before Wish You Were Here. So we'll be seeing that next. I don't know how I did that, but I did. So we will see Wish You Were Here next, I believe. But both are great albums, I think. But there's Wish You Were Here. I don't think I'll be making a mess up like that again. I did it in the Led Zeppelin video as well. But here's Wish You Were Here, released in 1975. And this was released before Animals, so yeah. I'm not going to go back and re-edit this either, so the mistake is going to stay in. But great album. The band found it difficult to record Wish You Were Here. It was emotionally and physically draining on Gilmour. And Gilmour and the band found it hard to top Dark Side of the Moon, which I can understand because it was a great album at the time, and it brought the band a lot of success, money, and a lot of live shows. I think they actually toured on that for that record for about 2 years, from 1972 to 1973. But yeah, this is the CD version of the album cover you see here. The final record edition of this album does not have the name of the band on it at all. It came on a sticker if you got the album factory sealed, and that's the only way you knew this was Pink Floyd. Same with Animals. It also came on as a sticker on the factory wrapping. I think that's a great way to, I don't know, it just makes the album covers look more like art than an album cover, and it brings a little bit of mystery to it to fans that don't know who the band is. They might pick up the record and look at it and think, who is this? I'm going to pick this up and see it. Here's an actual bootleg copy of Pink Floyd Video Anthology. You can't get that on any official DVD though, but here's Pink Floyd's The Wall, released in 1979. Great album. This is one of the best Pink Floyd albums ever. The band by this time, I think they're moving away from the psychedelic sound. They're going more for a commercial sound, which works for them. The band is still in top form here. They released a movie and went on tour. Unfortunately, the 1980 Earl's Court appearance recorded on video is not on DVD. I don't know why, but it's just not. You can get it on bootleg, and there's a bootleg floating around on Amazon that's very, very bad that I recommend you not pick up. But you can look at clips from that performance on YouTube, and it is in great picture and sound quality. The album, as far as I know, it has great artwork, great songs. I can listen to the entire thing through. I think it has about 20-something songs on it, and it's just a brilliant album. I can't think of any other way to listen to the album. So yeah, here's some extra artwork I found. Someone put that together, and the final cut, released in 1983. This is Pink Floyd's last album they ever made. In many fans' eyes, this is a Waters solo album, which in essence it really is, because he's the only one that sings on the album, as far as I know. And this is really the only Floyd album I actually passed up, and I've listened to clips on it on YouTube, but I just can't bring myself to buy it in any format it was put out in. I don't know, I can't. It's great. It's really sad that the band ended this way, and but you know, they all went their separate ways and are having degreed success in their solo projects. Roger Waters has now made a theatrical version of, or he's making a Broadway version of The Wall, and Gilmour and Nick are playing in their band, David Gilmour Band. So yeah, that wraps it up for this album retrospective video, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Drop a comment if you want, and I'll answer your question as soon as possible. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching again. Bye, guys.